The 3 a.m. Money Nightmare. You are not alone. It is 3 a.m. The house is quiet, the world is asleep, but your mind is screaming. It is a familiar terror, isn't it? Your heart is pounding like a drum solo against your ribs. Your thoughts are racing. Past due notices, a dwindling bank balance, the crushing weight of what-ifs. You open the banking app, holding your breath as the numbers load. And then it hits you. That cold, sick feeling. The feeling of being trapped, of drowning, with no shore in sight. This is more than worry. This is financial anxiety. It is a cycle, but you can break it. Today. Let's get one thing straight. The anxiety you are feeling is a normal human response to a real and perceived threat. It's not a sign of weakness. It's not a personal failing, and you are certainly not alone in this. Millions of people, from all walks of life, lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling, their minds racing with the same worries that are keeping you up right now. It's a silent epidemic of stress, one that we often feel we have to face in isolation. But understanding the why behind this feeling is the very first step toward reclaiming your peace of mind. It's about recognizing that your brain is actually doing exactly what it was designed to do: protect you. The problem isn't the alarm itself, but the fact that in our modern world, the alarm bell never seems to stop ringing. Money is not just paper and numbers on a screen, it is tied to survival. In the most primal, fundamental way, our brains equate financial stability with safety. It's a deeply ingrained connection, forged over millennia. We've evolved from needing to secure a safe cave and a successful hunt to needing to secure an income and a stable home. The context has changed, but the underlying neurobiology hasn't. This is why a sudden, unexpected bill can feel like a physical blow, and why the thought of an empty bank account can trigger a wave of genuine, gut-wrenching fear. We're not just worried about spreadsheets and budgets. We're worried about our ability to live, to provide, and to be secure. It puts food on the table, keeps a roof overhead, pays the doctor, keeps the lights on. Each of these is a pillar of modern survival. When one feels shaky, the entire structure of our safety feels compromised. It's the quiet dread of opening the mail, the knot in your stomach when the phone rings from an unknown number, the constant low-level hum of what if? What if the car breaks down? What if I get sick? What if I can't make rent next month? These aren't abstract worries. They are direct challenges to our well-being. It touches our work, our health, our family, our future. Financial stress bleeds into every corner of our lives. It affects our performance at work because our minds are elsewhere. It impacts our health, leading to high blood pressure, insomnia, and a weakened immune system. It strains our relationships with loved ones, as stress can make us irritable and withdrawn, and it casts a long, dark shadow over our hopes for the future, making it feel impossible to dream or plan ahead. It's a heavy burden to carry, one that can make the world feel gray and hostile. When your money feels out of control, your brain's alarm system goes off. This system is called the amygdala, a small, almond-shaped set of neurons deep in your brain. Think of it as your internal smoke detector. Its only job is to scan for danger, and when it finds it, to sound the alarm, loud and clear. It doesn't do nuance. It doesn't distinguish between a physical threat and an emotional or financial one. To the amygdala, danger is danger. It's the same fight-or-flight response your ancestors felt when they came face-to-face with a saber-toothed tiger. Your brain does not know the difference. That ancient wiring is still active, still powerful. The tiger wanted to eat you. A mountain of debt threatens to consume your future. The perceived outcome, a threat to your existence, is remarkably similar from your brain's perspective. So it pulls the same emergency lever it has for 200,000 years. Predator or collections agency, both feel like threats to safety. An angry email from a creditor, a final notice letter, a declined card at the grocery store, each of these modern-day events can trigger that same primal, instantaneous fear response. Your logical brain, the prefrontal cortex, might know you aren't going to be physically attacked, but by the time it gets that message, the amygdala has already flooded your system with stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, Your heart rate skyrockets. Your breathing becomes shallow and rapid. Your thoughts start racing, jumping from one worst-case scenario to the next. This is your body preparing for battle. It's diverting energy away from non-essential functions like digestion and rational thought, and priming your muscles to either fight the threat or run from it. It's an incredibly effective system for short-term survival. But here's the crucial difference. A saber-toothed tiger attack is over in minutes. You either escape or you don't. The threat is immediate and finite. Financial stress, however, isn't. It can go on for weeks, months, even years. This is when that short-term biology becomes chronic, when the stress never stops. The alarm bell is constantly ringing, and your body is perpetually in a state of high alert. The drip, drip, drip of cortisol becomes a constant flood, wearing you down day after day. Faced with this relentless pressure, it's only natural to seek an escape. Avoidance buys brief relief, but grows the problem. Not opening the bills, ignoring the phone calls, distracting yourself with anything and everything else. It feels better for a moment. That brief respite is a powerful reward for your brain. But while you're looking away, the interest accrues. The deadlines pass, and the small puddle of problems quietly grows into a flood that threatens to engulf the entire room. The temporary relief of avoidance always comes at the cost of long-term, amplified anxiety. Soon you feel stuck, overwhelmed, paralyzed. This is financial paralysis. It's the point where the problem feels so big, so insurmountable, that your brain simply shuts down. The fight-or-flight response gives way to a freeze response. You know you need to do something, but you can't summon the energy or clarity to decide what that something is. Every potential step feels like it's surrounded by 100 more impossible steps. This is not a character flaw. It is the predictable biological endpoint of chronic, unaddressed stress. But it is not the end of the story. Recognizing this cycle is the first, most powerful step to breaking it. It often starts in the quiet hours, doesn't it? That cold, creeping feeling in your chest when the rest of the world is asleep. You're awake, and your mind is racing, replaying every purchase, every bill, every financial decision. And in that silence, a voice begins to whisper. One of the most destructive lies of financial anxiety is that this is all your fault. It's a deeply personal and isolating lie, one that convinces you that you are uniquely broken. It whispers, lazy, irresponsible, bad with money. It's a relentless internal critic, layering shame and guilt on top of the already crushing weight of fear. It tells you that you should have known better, tried harder, been smarter. This voice turns every financial setback into a personal indictment. A declined card isn't just an inconvenience, it's public humiliation. A past due notice isn't just a reminder, it's a judgment on your character. This shame is a powerful paralytic. It keeps you from looking at your bank statements, from opening your mail, from talking to anyone about what you're going through. It thrives in silence and secrecy. And the outside world often reinforces this narrative. People see debt and emptier savings accounts, and they make assumptions. They assume a lack of discipline, a failure of will, a moral failing. Let me be absolutely clear. That is garbage. It is a harmful, unproductive, and fundamentally untrue story. It is a lie designed to keep you trapped in a cycle of anxiety and inaction. Because as long as you believe you are the problem, you will feel powerless to find a solution. You will believe that you are somehow unworthy of financial peace. This is not a character flaw. Say it with me, even if it's just in your head. This is not a character flaw. It is not a reflection of your worth as a human being. Your bank balance does not define your value. For the vast majority of people, financial struggle is not a moral problem. It is a knowledge problem, a skill gap. Think about it. Where were you supposed to learn this? In high school, maybe you had a single semester of economics that was more about abstract theories of supply and demand than about how to actually build a budget or understand a credit score. Our culture is brilliant at teaching you how to want things. Advertising, social media, societal expectations, they all create a powerful engine of desire. But it completely fails at teaching you how to pay for them in a sustainable way. The basics of personal finance, things like compound interest, tax-advantaged retirement accounts, or even how to negotiate a bill, can feel like hidden knowledge, a secret language spoken only by a select few. You're handed a credit card at 18 with little more than a warning to be responsible, but no practical instruction on what that actually means. Then, on top of this educational gap, life hits, and life doesn't care about your 5-year plan. A sudden job loss, an unexpected medical diagnosis for you or a family member, a divorce, a global economic shock that shutters industries overnight. These are not personal failures. They are not excuses. They are the unpredictable, often brutal realities of the human experience. No amount of being good with money can fully insulate you from the financial impact of a major life event. To blame yourself for struggling in the face of these challenges is like blaming yourself for getting wet in a hurricane. So, let's reframe this, right here, right now. That feeling of financial anxiety, the sleepless nights, the racing heart, the pit in your stomach, is not a punishment. It is a signal. It's your mind and body telling you that your current toolkit is no longer sufficient for the challenges you're facing. It's an alarm bell, urging you to learn a new skill. It's a call to action, not a reason for condemnation. Think of it like any other skill you've ever wanted to acquire, like learning to cook, or play the guitar, or speak a new language. Managing money can be learned. Nobody is born knowing how to perfectly sauté vegetables or play a C chord. You start with the basics. You find a simple recipe. You learn 3 basic chords. You memorize 10 new words. You are clumsy at first. You burn the garlic. Your fingers hurt. You mispronounce everything. It's awkward and frustrating. But you don't assume you have a character flaw that prevents you from ever cooking or playing music. You just accept that you are a beginner. The same is true for your finances. There is no magic bullet. You don't need a PhD in economics. What you need is a willingness to be a beginner. You need to give yourself permission to not know everything, to ask questions, and to make mistakes along the way. It starts with practice, with small, manageable steps that begin to build momentum. One small step, taken today, and another, tomorrow. These tiny actions, these moments of choosing to learn instead of hide, are what add up to massive life-altering change. This is not about becoming a different person. It's about becoming a more skilled version of the person you already are. In a financial panic, your instinct is to do anything, fast. A panicked mind is a stupid mind. It makes rash, costly decisions, desperate moves, not strategic ones. First step, get calm. Stop. Breathe in for 5. Hold. Exhale for 5. Repeat. Tell yourself, I am okay. I am safe. I will not make decisions out of fear. We're about to take the first, most crucial step. This first micro win is foundational, and I won't sugarcoat it. It's the one that scares people the most. It's the one we put off until tomorrow, next week, or next month. The thought alone can make your stomach clench. It feels like standing at the edge of a diving board, knowing the water below is ice cold. But you have to do it. You have to take the plunge. I remember a time, not so long ago, when the very idea of looking at my bank statements felt like a physical weight. I'd tell myself, I'll get to it this weekend, but the weekend would come and go, filled with any distraction I could find. That avoidance didn't bring peace. It just fed a low-grade, constant hum of anxiety in the background of my life. This step is about silencing that hum. It's about choosing courage over comfort, just for a few minutes. Because every single positive change you want to make with your money begins right here, with this single act of bravery. The core principle is deceptively simple. You must know what you are earning and what you are spending. That's it. That's the entire game in 2 columns. We often think we have a handle on it, a vague sense of our financial picture. We might know our salary, but the other side of the ledger, the spending, is a chaotic blur of small transactions, automatic payments, and impulse buys. It's like trying to navigate a ship by only looking at the stars, without ever checking for leaks below deck. To truly be the captain of your financial life, you need to be aware of both the money coming in and, just as importantly, every dollar going out. This isn't about restriction, it's about awareness. It's a simple health checkup for your finances. The unknown is always scarier than the truth. That vague, nagging feeling that things aren't right. that you might be overspending, that you're not prepared for an emergency. That feeling is a monster that grows in the dark. It feeds on ambiguity and whispers worst-case scenarios while you're trying to sleep. It is time to turn on the light. When you flip that switch, the monster might not disappear, but it will shrink. It will have a name, a size, a shape. It will transform from a terrifying phantom into a concrete problem, and concrete problems have concrete solutions. This act is your first step from being a passive victim of your circumstances to an active architect of your future. So, how do we begin? Forget the complicated spreadsheets and expensive software for now. Those tools have their place, but they can also be a form of procrastination. The goal today isn't perfection, it's progress. Get a simple piece of paper, or open a notes app on your phone. That's all you need. You do not need fancy software, you need clarity. The simpler the tool, the less friction there is between you and the task. We are removing every possible barrier to getting this done right now. The mission is to get the numbers out of your head and onto the page, where you can see them clearly. On your paper or in your app, create your first heading, Income. Now take a moment and write every monthly income source. This is your full-time job's take-home pay, the actual amount that hits your bank account, your paycheck. If you have a partner and share finances, write down your spouse's paycheck. Then, think about everything else. Any side hustle money, no matter how small, that freelance project, the items you sold online, the weekend babysitting gig. Be thorough. If you have inconsistent income, look at the average from the last 3 months to get a realistic starting number. Don't inflate it with wishful thinking. We need the real, after-tax number. Now draw a line under that list and total it. This is your total monthly income. Look at that number. Take a breath. It is not good or bad. It is just a number. The truth. It's your starting point, your baseline. It represents the resources you have to work with this month. This number doesn't define your worth. It is simply the first piece of our map. Now, for the other side of the ledger. Create a second heading, Expenses. Before you list anything else, we prioritize. We start with the 4 walls: food, utilities, shelter, and transportation. These are the absolute essentials you need to protect no matter what. Think of them as the foundation of your financial house. Everything else is secondary. This isn't just about listing bills. It's a strategic mindset. In any financial storm, you protect these 4 walls first. Under your 4 walls subheading, list your rent or mortgage payment. Then, your food budget. Be realistic here. What do you actually spend on groceries? Not what you spent. Next, list your essential utilities: electric, water, natural gas. Finally, your basic transportation costs, your car payment, and an honest estimate for fuel. If you use public transit, list your monthly pass cost. These are the non-negotiables. Okay, with the foundation secure, it's time to list everything else. This is where total honesty is critical. Go through your bank and credit card statements from the last month if you have to. Then add your cell phone bill, your internet bill, and all your insurance payments: car, health, renters. Next, list all your minimum debt payments, student loans, credit card minimums, personal loans. Then come the subscriptions: streaming services, gym memberships, software, subscription boxes. Finally, estimate your variable spending: entertainment, restaurants, coffee shops, personal shopping. This is the moment of truth. Be brutally honest with yourself. If you spent $100 on takeout, write it down. If you have 3 streaming services you forgot about, write them down. Do not judge yourself. Do not get angry or discouraged. You are not a bad person for spending money. You are a data collector. Your only job right now is to get the information on the page. Just write it down. Each number you write is a victory over the unknown. When you are done, total up all your expenses. Now you have 2 critical numbers: total income and total expenses. Subtract your expenses from your income. What's left? Is it positive? Negative? Close to 0? It doesn't matter. What matters is that you have a map. For the first time, you may be seeing the complete, unvarnished picture of your financial reality. It might look ugly. The expense column might be shockingly long. The final number might be negative. That is okay. In fact, it's more than okay. It's normal. Most people who do this for the first time are surprised, and not always in a good way. But that feeling of shock is quickly replaced by a feeling of empowerment. You are no longer guessing. You are seeing. This is diagnosis, not shame. Let me repeat that. This is diagnosis, not shame. If a doctor told you that you had high blood pressure, you wouldn't feel shame. You would feel informed. You would ask, okay, what's the plan? This is the exact same thing. This piece of paper is your diagnostic report. You cannot fix what you refuse to see. Now, you see it, and now we can begin to fix it. Fear lives in fog. It thrives in the shadows of what we don't know. What you have just done is switched on a floodlight. You have replaced vague anxiety with hard data. This is the absolute, non-negotiable first step toward taking back your power. Clarity brings control, and it starts here. Take a moment to appreciate what you've just accomplished. You faced the numbers. You won. Life happens. The car breaks down. The AC dies. Kids get hurt. These are when events. Without a cushion, you borrow, adding more stress. Living on the edge is exhausting. Your second micro win. Build a $1,000 starter emergency fund. Fast, not your full fund. Baby step 1. It will not solve everything, but it covers most common emergencies. It buys peace of mind and stops panic before it starts. You can find this money, get intense, sell so much stuff the kids think they are next. Declutter and sell. Marketplace, Craigslist, a garage sale. Pick up temporary work. Stack cash to $1,000, then park it in a savings account labeled emergency fund for real emergencies only. Financial anxiety thrives in chaos and neglect. If you check money rarely, small issues become big monsters. Missed bills turn into fees and phone calls. Tiny leaks add up, quietly. Micro win 3. Schedule a 10-minute weekly money meeting. Same day, same time, every week. Consistency over duration. Open your banking app and check the balance. Review the week. Any odd charges? Did you stay on track? Look forward 7 days. Cover what's coming. That's it. Quick awareness, big control. You cannot fill a bucket full of holes. Many work hard, yet money disappears through tiny leaks. Daily coffee, vending snacks, multiple streaming services, you forget they stack up. Micro win 4. Cut one recurring expense for 30 days. Not scorched earth. Just one manageable cut. Brew at home for 1 month. There's your extra 100. Give it a job so it does not vanish. Small sacrifices become tangible victories and a stronger money muscle. Financial anxiety feels like a dark forest with no path and no compass. Micro wins are single steps that form a clear path out. They give you direction and traction. They prove movement is possible. First, face the numbers. What you make and what you spend. Second, get gazelle intense and build your $1,000 buffer. Third, a weekly 10-minute check-in. Fourth, cut one small leak and fund your goal. These are not theories, they are workable actions. Today, right now. After this video, pick one thing. Just one. Even $10 to savings counts. Starting breaks the inertia. You are not alone, and you can win.